Hello guys, and in this video we'll try to analyze the use of breadboard and why do we use it and understanding the breadboard in detail. So breadboard, this is one of the most fundamental piece that we use when learning about circuit or when we are building something. Yeah, and it is very important to use a breadboard because it is used for solderless connections. So you may be thinking like, why we use breadboards and how did it get it named breadboard? So basically, in the 90s, 60s, and 90s, 70s, there were nothing such as breadboard. So they used to have nails, or they used to have thumbtacks on the plyboard, or they used to have it on the motherboard, and through that they used to do connections. And later and later, when technology, it expanded and it tried to increase. So what happened? They invented something known as breadboard, that is you can use this in order to make a prototype or in order to do a solderless connection. That is, in order to connect this, you do not require any nails, you do not require any soldering, you can just use wires and you can uh, use the wirings. You can solve, instead of soldering you can use it directly. Yes, so that's why it's given the name solderless. So for solderless connections we can use breadboard, and there are various types of breadboard with various size. So we'll be seeing today a small mini size breadboard and a larger one, and we'll be seeing how these are internally working. So here you can see this picture which shows the breadboard, and the red lines are nothing but internally how it is connected. So this red line means that this entire pins are connected as one. So if I give an input or output here, I can fetch it along this entire line. So this is what we use for giving power and also for ground. So you can see even it indicates this plus sign minus. So you can see the same here in breadboard. You can see we have plus and minus. So what happens when you are to give power supply to multiple sensors, and if you have only one or two pins on the board, so you cannot distribute it evenly. So what happens? You get a pin and you give the output here in this part of breadboard, so that you can access n number of sensors. You can give power supply using this particular lane. So you have four such lane in the breadboard for power supplies now, and we have around 30 vertical pins, what you can see here, and each of these are connected. As you can see in this image, each of these are connected. Now, what if again, if there is a sensor which has to be given input, or it has to give the output to various controllers, not one but multiple controllers. So using one wire, you cannot distribute the output to multiple controllers. So what happens? You can bring that output and you can put it in one such pin, and later you can again take the input from any part of this remaining pins. So these are vertically connected and these are horizontally connected. So this is how breadboard is internally connected. So this is the use of breadboard, where you can connect wires, sensors, solderless. So in further part of videos, when we'll be using every sensor, so we'll be using most of the time breadboard. So it's important to analyze and understand how the breadboard works and the internal of a breadboard.